If my purpose is to give my cat wet cat food, that matters.
At any point, God could just destroy all the food and water like he did all throughout down in history in the Old Testament.
I still am actually, I have to spend money on the wet cat food. BBDs.
Welcome back to another fine episode of Bad Bible Debates with Mezzo and Joel. You'll notice I switched our names. Normally we say Joel and Mezzo, but I switched it. Put me in front because he isn't here. I think he'll be back later though. He said he just had to run out and buy some sex jelly. He's gonna get some sex jelly and some sex peanut butter and some sex bread and make a sex sandwich. So he'll be back a little bit later to pick us up on the back end of the podcast. But that's okay that he's not here because this first clip is with me and with our dear friend Thinker. We had a great conversation with this gentleman about free will, and you can hear him lighting up hypocrisy throughout this clip. Enjoy.
Oh, BBDs.
You know what answer I need to know? When Jesus was a baby, did he have no power as God? You know, like when he was being nursed?
No, he had ultimate power. So like every time he nursed, he just sucked the tit dry. Like every drop. Just supreme suckling.
She'd be like, oh God, this hurts.
I'm not surprised at all. I'm just waiting for the big
What are you not surprised of?
I'm just surprised. I'm not surprised that the scripture coming true that everyone would be mockers of God and wanting pleasure and money, and that the world would go all, I guess, left sideways just completely. And it's happening right in front of me. I'm watching it happen, unfold. And I'm not surprised.
Oh, you mean like through me?
Well, even like you're I'm not saying you're like behind it all. I'm just saying you're part.
No, but I'm participating in it. Like all the people here are like getting pleasure by watching this, so I'm like dishing out pleasure, and that's bad.
You guys are all kind of enjoying taking down the Christian faith by storm, and that's okay for now because sin only is enjoyed for a season.
I've never been called a storm.
Well, yeah, you're still kind of a storm, a little one.
There's a quiet storm. I guess Sade called me a quiet storm once. And you're saying that like it's bad to enjoy things because then Jesus will come back?
But no, what I'm saying is that you can enjoy it. Of course, this is your free will choice to do whatever you please. My question is that if you're wrong and you're faced with a loving God that looks at you and says, I loved you. Why did you do this to us? And then you're going to have to respond.
I loved you. Why did you enjoy your life? That's what he says.
I mean, it depends how you enjoy your life. Like we could, like groups of us could go to Peru and enjoy beautiful sunsets and water and be thankful for the water and the sunsets. But then there's those that come on TikTok and try to destroy the hopes of people's hearts.
Is it your hope to destroy the hopes of non-believers' hearts?
Well, I never intended to. I don't even think that's a possibility.
That's a great point. I hope that the world becomes like better at critical thinking. I hope that we can like follow a path that's more true and like take better care of the earth in this limited time that we have here. So are you here to crush my hopes and tell me that God is coming?
No, but I mean, I know how things work spiritually. If you would like me to indulge and tell you how this is going to accumulate in the end and how it's going to happen.
I'm really cautious with you indulging because Jesus might not like it if you indulge.
Well, indulging.
I just don't want to get you in trouble.
See, this is the way it works. So the good guys always suffer, right? We know this. Good guys die young, et cetera, et cetera. As the wicked people take.
Can you say that thing? People say everyone knows this sometimes, and they brush by stuff that I don't know. What were you saying?
Oh, that the good die young. The good guy always finishes last. You never heard of those phrases?
How do you die first and finish last?
Well, that's not what I was getting at. I wasn't talking about dying. I was talking about, yeah, it's good though. No, I'm talking about how like good people suffer.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I think lots of bad people suffer. I think lots of good people feel fine.
You should do a live to get a vote and see if everyone agrees that good people suffer more than wicked people.
And how would we validate the responses?
The vote, well,
as
depending
true?
On the viewers. The main topic.
So if somebody is still alive in the age, if somebody lives to 80, that means they were bad?
Not always necessarily. I'm not saying it always works that way. I'm just trying to tell you that good people with good hearts tend to suffer the most. I don't know, maybe.
Or Christians suffer more.
Well, yeah, that's part of the call of following God. You will suffer.
I just want people in chat to know if you become a Christian, you might suffer a lot. Just think if you're on the fence.
Well,
just
it's long
consider that
suffering.
before
It's
you
actually a
get into
fruit. It's actually a fruit according to our scriptures.
it. Okay, I'm just to warn people in chat, if you're on the fence, you might have to eat fruit.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is when the wicked people are done and the fullness of their judgment and guilt is complete, that's usually when things usually go the way they're supposed to.
When I do something guilty to completion, I think that it leads to like more pleasure.
Well, that's because you're
babies.
deceived. It's because you're deceived and you're unaware of what you're doing.
Oh, but you know what I'm doing?
You just said it.
What are you doing?
I'm having a cigarette.
You're going to hell, man. That's so enjoyable.
You know what who Jesus didn't like the most? Hypocrites. Did you know that?
Is that true?
Yeah.
Are you really
he always dealt with I am. He dealt with the Pharisees and the Sadducees mostly because they were the leaders.
Like people who say that like the we gotta like withhold our joy, but then they also like do what you just did, like that type of hypocrite, or a different kind.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? You're gonna have to go into detail.
You're tobacco, so you're like enjoying your pleasurable moment right now here on earth, but a minute ago you were saying that we shouldn't do that.
Well, see, with my faith,
doesn't that feel a little hypocritical to you?
No, because in my faith, it teaches us that we're all sinners, we're saved by grace, and that we all make mistakes, and we all have issues in life.
Yeah, so put it out. Finish.
How you have none on your show? Well, you have none on your show on the Christians, so you're not going to receive any mercy and grace because you didn't give any.
I'm giving you a lot of grace right now.
Right now, because you find me interesting. You don't have to lie.
No, I find you
Not
insufferable. Really. When we have someone like you come up, it makes Christianity look really bad. So it kind of like
you think
helps
so?
The
Maybe everyone's got it wrong then. Maybe everyone's too prideful. Maybe people got to stop being prideful.
Why do y'all be so angry when someone doesn't believe in your God?
I'm not being angry. He tried to judge me and throw me in the lake of fire for smoking. He's not even God. He's playing God right now. This whole show is him playing God.
But I'm saying like you're being very rude for no reason. And then
he just threw me in the lake of fire for smoking.
But you literally came up here and said that you're not allowed to indulge, and then you indulged.
I never said that.
And then you asked the question about hypocrites.
Yeah, I never said that no one.
And then you took a shot at the live and said that he's hosting a live to take people's hope away. Like you've literally been judging this whole time and trying to do it in a covert way.
He's actually telling Christians it's all false.
Like
think that does?
It is, because it is false.
No, I'm trying to explain to you that if we wanted God in the first place, okay, then the story wouldn't go the way it goes. Exactly. That's why it goes the way it goes. It's not because God wants it that way. There's no other way out.
Literally, your God is somewhere in heaven trying to get mortals to love it.
That's not what's happening.
That's literally what it is.
So often, there's been a lot of this tonight. There's been utter nonsense tonight, and then also a lot of just like people kind of like weakening God. They're like finding things where it's like that's how He has to do it. That's the only way it could be. Christians can't do that. We're allowed to say like that's just how it is. There's no other way out of it. But there's no such thing as that for Christianity. There's always another way.
Well, the way I understand it to be is that God made it possible in every option for him to be just and righteous. So the whole world at some point could have been saved. That's what I believe. But because of men's hearts and because they don't want God, it has to go the way he has written it. And he wrote it that way because he knew there would be no way men would change.
Could he write a new thing?
Nope. Because he knows the way men are. He knows the way every possible angle.
He can't do it. He can't do it.
Because he can't go against our free will. He's got to let us have free will. Why would he force you to do anything?
That he literally is forcing. If you don't love him, then he burns your ass.
I want my free will choice to be that I don't go to heaven or hell. Can I choose that?
I wish that were a choice.
So I don't have that.
If you don't accept forgiveness, then you're not forgiven. Therefore, you're sin forsaken.
Can I make my free will choice be that I just live forever on earth?
That'd be nice, but not if you're going to stay wicked. No.
Okay, so I can't do that either. Can I make my free will choice be where I go to hell at first, but then just for a week, and then I come to heaven after?
I've debated all those things. I've been through those scenarios. I've been through a lot of suffering myself. And just to be honest with you,
can I do that?
Well, I want to just say this.
Can I do that?
The whole fall. Listen, the fall and sin.
Can I do that?
No, because the fall.
Okay, so that's another thing I can't do. So you're saying that free will, and every single thing I'm trying to do, you're saying I don't have that choice for.
You can't enter heaven with sin, and you cannot live in eternity with sin.
But sin started in heaven, so like
No, well, sin started.
It started in heaven. And so,
and he kicked him out.
Yeah, and exactly. So, if sin can start in heaven in the beginning,
do you know why?
Like, what makes you think that this won't start back over?
Sin destroys the love.
I'm so sorry. I totally forgot this. I'm so sorry. Someone paid to drop you, and I didn't even see it.
Oh, it's okay. Well, I enjoyed our time talking.
Oh, I didn't, but I'm so sorry about that.
It was insufferable.
I forgot to remind people it's one rose to drop.
BBDs. Wow. Now that was a good debate. That was an excellent debate. Now Mezzo took off. I told him, I said, I'm making you a sex sandwich, 1 or 2. And he just like he ran. He was like, no thanks. And he just took off there. And it's disappointing because I don't want to eat this sex sandwich alone. It's a better experience having sex sandwiches with someone. But hold on. Anyway, the point is, all life is experiences, and our finite experiences are so important because really, technically, it's all we have. And I sort of talked to somebody about that in this next debate. Check it out. Mezzo, come back. D's. Layman, are you a Christian?
Hey, yes, sir, I am.
Are you ready to dump the Bible with us tonight?
Well, I'm gonna try to get you to hug the Bible tonight.
Ooh, we have another proselytizer going to turn it around for me. Well, that's exciting because I'm getting ready to dump it. So why shouldn't I dump the book? We're standing in Mordor, right? And I'm about to throw the ring in, but you're Frodo, and you're saying I need that ring. I don't know, this is a bad metaphor, but I guess it's not that bad because the Bible is kind of like the ring of power. It's evil and stuff. But why shouldn't I throw the Bible into the fires of Mordor to destroy it forever?
Yeah, so I think that analogy, first of all, probably doesn't work because you're presuming that the Bible is evil.
As we go forward, if you wouldn't mind saying like, it's my precious, and like just go, you don't want to dump the Bible because it's beautiful. Just do everything in
pretty good.
The Gollum voice. No,
well,
but
I couldn't do
why?
It half as good as that.
Okay, well then let's skip it. All right, so why shouldn't I dump the book? What's in there worth keeping?
Yeah, so I think every single person on the face of this planet wants answers to the big questions in life. Why am I here? Where am I going? What's my purpose? Et cetera, et cetera. The Bible gives you a narrative to answer all of those questions. And when you believe it, you can stop killing yourself and rest. So you can sit and argue all day long. Well, how do you know this is right? What about Islam? What about Judaism? What about no gods? And these people, you guys just spend all your time just arguing instead of actually believing it's true and having what it's giving you.
I guess the first contention would be that I guess we can do that with many different worldviews. So as long as we just close our brains and believe them, we can have answers. Like, because Islam's going to offer the same thing. Mormonism, every Christian sect, or Judaism, I'm sure, not to mention probably naturalism on some level. They're going to have some sort of, the answer is going to be, you can make your life whatever you want.
So the answer becomes, which one's the best?
Well, I guess the thing that I like about the naturalism one is that you can sort of like build your own adventure and you're not locked into a dusty old book.
That's boring, man. I know what my adventure is. My adventure is 10 years down the road when I've made $1 billion and I've got a bunch of houses, or I've done this experience, and it's just a matter of time. I don't want my opinion. I want somebody who's got a great story telling me where to go, and I don't know what the next turn is going to be. That was what I thought was the greatest things ever. And then I realized that there is an infinitely better way to do it when I stop doing it. I want peace and rest.
Right. According to the Bible, what is the purpose? Like, what's the plan?
So the 30-second elevator pitch is that God is creating a utopia and wants you to join him. But you have to choose.
Yeah, you've chosen it. So what's the plan now? Like, what is your life plan?
You mean for me personally? Like, what do I do now?
Like, you got
forward?
purpose now. You got purpose. What is that purpose?
Right.
Like, I'm looking at, and let's see some verses behind that. Like, where does it go from, like, I used to just live for myself to now I'm going to live for myself in a utopia? I mean, it's not myself. It's not just that I'm going to go to a heaven and it's not for me. It's for something else. What is that thing? And show me scripture to back it up.
Well, because the first thing that you do is you choose to be with him. Once you've accepted that, then the evidence of a genuinely converted heart is wanting to do good things for other people, wanting to worship him. It's a change of heart.
So your purpose is to live for other people, for God, for Jesus.
Well, yes, the purpose is to spread the word, but yes, that's exactly right. Yep.
Oh, the purpose is to spread the word now.
So the purpose is to spread the gospel so other people can have what I have, what Christians have, so that they can go out and do good works. They can spread the word. So
what's the ultimate goal here? Like, what is the thing? Who are you doing this for? I understand that you're doing it for Jesus, but what's the benefit here for him? Why? What is I need a why on this.
Before anything ever existed, this is what Christians believe. This is what the Bible teaches. God existed with Christ and the Holy Spirit. Mm-hmm. And together they had this perfect yin and yang relationship, if you will, where the Father gave everything he had to the Son, Jesus Christ. And in return, Jesus Christ loved the Father, obeyed him, and followed him. And the Father loved him back. And just forever, there was this beautiful relationship.
Beautifully narcissistic. Go
How?
On.
How?
They're all the one thing and they love each other? They love themselves?
People haven't been created yet. It's just them.
Yes. Yeah. It's just like this intense self-love of themselves. That's
beauty, respect, all of the good words, loyalty, respect, honor, justice.
Themselves. It's like me looking in the mirror going, you're gorgeous, and I will never let you down. I will never let you down. It's like,
so that's not what we would believe, right? We believe that it's a good relationship. It's not narcissistic. But that was what it was, is like God loving himself. But that's cool. So we don't need to worry about it. From there, right? From there, basically they're like, I want to share this with as many people as I possibly can.
Right.
And so God sent his son down to create the heavens and the earth, to manifest people, to lead them.
Jesus did that. Okay.
Jesus is the physical manifestation of God. God worked everything through Jesus, who existed before creation started.
But you're saying that Jesus did all the work.
He's always been Jesus, and he's always had the power of God. Uh-huh. God told him to go create everything, and so he did. He needs physical. He is.
Where do we see that in Scripture? That's an interesting doctrine.
I think it's the beginning of John.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was God thing.
You either want to believe that God is good or you don't, and then
I want to get back to the reason why this is happening. So these gods wanted to create a bunch of other people
to share their love with them.
So it's kind of for their experience. They want to be loved. They want to. So that's actually like kind of doubling down, or even billioning down on the narcissism, because they have so many people that they want to just love them. They're like, I just want to make a mass of people that can love me. And then I'm just going to jump ahead. They made them with free will so that they could love them freely, knowing that it would create gratuitous suffering, but that suffering was worthwhile just so they could be
that's such
genuinely
a
loved.
Way. Dude, you're so
But that's
negative.
what it is, right? You tell me what I've gotten wrong, because it's just they all that suffering is worthwhile, and the billions of souls that burn in hell for eternity are worthwhile collateral damage. so that they can receive love.
You have this
What am I saying? What am I getting wrong, though?
It sounds like you think that all of this, the reason we exist, is to worship them without getting anything in return positive at all.
I'm saying that there's a lot of people that are burned in hell for eternity. There's also a lot of people who are just suffering, gratuitous suffering, and human suffering, animal suffering on this planet. And you're saying that this is all a good thing because three gods wanted to be loved genuinely. Like, I know that that's the doctrine, and I'm just confirming that with you.
I would say that the Father was so in love with the obedience of the Son, and the Son was so infatuated with the safety and security and governance of the Father, that they desired to share this with us so that we could have that kind of experience with them. It's a positive story for your benefit.
It just really depends on how you frame it, I guess.
100%. So if that's the point, why frame it negatively?
It is easily framed negatively. I don't know if you
Then
noticed
don't
that.
do
That
it.
we're both saying the same thing. The only thing that I'm just saying it in a more honest kind of way. I'm not sugarcoating it the way you are.
You get nothing out of it, though, when you do that. The value is by believing it's true.
The reason why all of this is happening is for the experience of the Godhead. So I know that I know Layman, I know you get something out of it too. I know that you get something out of it too, but you said it. You said that the God wanted to be loved. It wanted to share this experience. You can correct me if I'm wrong, that the free will piece of this is so that they can genuinely be loved because they need genuine love and affection from people. Am I wrong?
It was more for our benefit than it was for his benefit.
That can't
in order
be true.
To create this
that
system.
can't be true. That can't be true.
How?
Because the way is narrow. So if the way is narrow and the road to hell is broad, if there are more people who are going to be burning in hell for eternity, and if people experience gratuitous suffering on this planet, then it can't be for us because we just will end up by like majority suffering and burning in hell.
There's nothing stopping you personally from accepting Jesus right now and being part of that club.
No, I know, I get that.
There's
except for critical thinking. The only thing that's stopping me is critical thinking.
Finish. You sound like you have no choice to be part of the good side of this equation.
Yeah, but that doesn't solve the problem, right? Like that's just a selfish perspective for me, right? Then I'd be going like, well, I'm doing well, so good luck, everyone. Like, and that seems very rude.
That is selfish. That's not what a Christian would tell you to do.
No, it sounds like
they would say, go
it sounds
out
like you're trying to
it.
entice me with this, like, I don't know, forbidden fruit and saying like, just take a bite and then you'll know what I know, this peace that passes all understanding, and you won't have to, worry about all the other people dying and burning in hell. I'm like, well, I don't feel right about that. The reason why I find this so barbaric is because of all the suffering that everyone else is experiencing. But what I want to get back to, Layman, because this is important to me, is that God did create us to worship him for his glory. He created us so that we could love him. Is that not true?
Yes, that's true.
That's true. So we are created. Our purpose is for his edification on some level. Our purpose is to live for him.
Yes, that's true.
Right. So he is also an all-powerful being, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So he could accomplish whatever he wants to accomplish, any way he wants to accomplish it at any time. He could wipe this universe, do another one. He could flick you off the planet, put another person in there. He could do anything he wants to do to accomplish anything he wants to accomplish. Is that not true?
It is true.
So your purpose in life couldn't mean less. You have no absolute value in your purpose. Your purpose is arbitrary. It's completely insignificant. It's unnecessary. You are just one pawn that maybe got it right. What has value is something that's finite, that is like, if under naturalism, if we are finite and all we have is our experiences, and we can give experiences to someone who is unable to give that experience to themselves. I've brought up before, giving your cat wet cat food. You know how much it loves wet cat food?
Yep.
Yeah. And the cat just like really enjoys the wet cat food. It's purring while it's eating the wet cat food.
Mm-hmm.
The cat is going to die within your lifetime. Like, they don't live very long. It's a very finite existence, and it can't open the can of cat food. It can't get itself a can of cat food. So for you to give it the wet cat food, it's just like mind blowing. Like, you've given this finite creature the greatest experience of its life, basically. That's meaningful because the cat can't have that experience without you. You just existing for God, when God can do whatever he wants and you're completely unnecessary to it and everything's arbitrary and whatever, that can't mean any less. Under your worldview, your purpose, you don't have a purpose. You're just a cog. You're just a bunch of dust that God blew life into, and you just like float through life, die. Maybe he made you to go to heaven, maybe not. It doesn't matter. But for me, if my purpose is to give my cat wet cat food, that matters.
Mm-hmm. So you do realize that at any point, God could just destroy all the food and water like he did all throughout down in history in the Old Testament. Mm-hmm. I mean, God literally provided manna for his people during the Exodus.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the same thing that you're describing.
Except I'm not all powerful, right? So to the cat, they're having a great experience. Me, I still am actually like, I have to spend money on the wet cat food, right? It's more expensive than the dry stuff.
God
I'm giving the cat
only
a
son
treat.
To die for you.
Unnecessary, arbitrary. God could do anything anyway. He's all powerful. He's all knowing. He's the ultimate being. Nothing matters with him. Everything's arbitrary and unnecessary. The fact that he sent Jesus is a joke. That's a silly nonsense, like little theatrical, gaslighty sort of thing to do.
What? Why?
Because it's unnecessary.
It doesn't sound like you were saved, man.
Let me clarify this for a second. When you grew up believing your precept, you never really were a Christian. You thought you said all the right words, but you never really were a Christian. You see, you got it all wrong, sing all the wrong songs, have the wrong doctrine on baptism. How did I get baptism wrong? You went to church on the wrong day, said the wrong word when you prayed, so you never really were a Christian. I'm the only actual Christian. He did not run, I dropped him. I think that conversation had run its course. Maybe I was never a Christian. Who cares? It's just a stupid thing to say.
BBDs.
Oh my God. I gotta tell you, I make a lot of fun of the guy, but he makes the best sex sandwich you've ever had in your life. Joel, this is amazing. He's laying down having a smoke. He finishes. So for the next clip, it's actually a whole bunch of clips. The truth is, Joel does a really good job of saving his old TikTok debates. He's always downloaded all of them, saved them. I didn't know we were going to do this stupid fucking podcast. So some of my older stuff, I just don't have access to anymore. But I do have a series of little 1 or 2 minute clips that I had saved. So here's an 80s style montage of a whole bunch of clips. And in some of these clips, you're going to hear origin stories. Like the very first time I came up with the Bluey example, just on the fly during a debate, or the infinite coffee regression idea, or playing the Seinfeld theme live while people make terrible jokes, and some of these other things that have now become almost staples as I come up with them for the first time, really just pulling stuff out of my ass here. Enjoy all these, and when you hear this sound, it means it's the start of a new clip. So they won't make quite as much coherent sense as what you've been normally hearing, but you'll totally get the idea. I hope you enjoy them as much as I'm just loving the sound. Oh my God.
He knows everything if you say, and he's all knowing.
So he like has the memory of almost of like what it feels like to experience smelling flowers, even though he's never like done it.
I don't even know what type of question that is, but
so the next question that I have follow up is: does God like have the knowledge of the experience of what it feels like to actually grape a child?
Oh, goodness.
Does he have knowledge of what that feels like?
Well, I don't know why you're asking me, but
All right, while they think about that, I'm going to need an answer from one of you guys.
No, I've never seen every Christian on a panel go silent. Never, Menzo.
Oh, I didn't know you
Ever.
That's
Oh
a
my
question that I
gosh.
don't like asking. It's like, ugh, like that's too much. Like God's up there knowing these things.
When is it okay to get involved? When is it not okay to get involved?
If you're all
What would you
powerful,
like
I
him to
think,
do?
yeah, I think he should stop the storm.
Hmm.
I think that he should remove the desires of everyone who wants to do child rape. I think that he should, let's just like make cancer just make cancer not. That's a fine one to like have it not be, right? I would say like all of the like, how do I say, schmool scootings. Does that make sense? I don't know how to do this.
I think I follow.
Yeah, the pews in public places type of thing. There's a list of things that would be great, and we could still have like struggle and drama and issues. No, not a perfect world. Look,
okay.
On Mr. Rogers, there are conflicts. Do you know about Bluey?
Yeah, I know about Bluey.
Bluey's fucking good, man. That show is like, I have a hard time watching it because I cry a lot during it. But I have kids who like are the age and stuff. It like totally gets me. None of the little puppies are getting raped in Bluey. No, none of the little puppies are like enduring cancer in Bluey, but they still have conflict. The dad still had to leave for a work vacation, and it was really hard on the family, and it was hard on him, and they grew because of this struggle, right?
So you'd like the world to be like more like Bluey?
Oh fuck yeah! Are you kidding me? Wouldn't you?
Well, that would be like nice.
Imagine you go to you're sailing along and you come across a new island, and there's a civilization here that has never encountered anyone, and you sail up and you meet them, and very conveniently they speak English. All right, that's big bonus. And you say, "Hey, greetings. I'm from this other part of Earth. We've never seen you before." And they say, "Hey, what's up? I'm glad you're here. Except go back. Don't be here. You should not be here because it's very dangerous here. Because we have a God here that is evil. They're 100% all evil. And they're all powerful. They can do anything they want, and they want us all to suffer. They want us all to be hurt and suffer. And now that you're here, you're in great danger from this because they know everything. They know you're here. They have the power to just wipe us all out right now. They have this power. They're all powerful, and they're all evil." And then you're looking around going like, well, there's just like some coconuts over here, and like there's a rainbow over there, and the waves are kind of nice. Like, how are you guys alive? That doesn't make sense. If this all evil God is all powerful, shouldn't you all just be all suffering? Mm-hmm. Right? So now like the reverse of that is you have an all powerful, all good God. And then it's like, well, then why is there some bad stuff going on? Mm-hmm. Doesn't make sense. Shouldn't, if he wants us all to like be happy and thrive and do well, then like, why are all these terrible things happening? Why are there hurricanes? That's bad.
I would say, what do you say the percentage of suffering from natural disasters is? Because I would say it's pretty low for the overall human population.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter. If there's an all good God who's all powerful, it should be zero, right?
Why should that be though?
Because God shouldn't be like, I'm going to make a few people suffer. Right? Like, what are you doing, God? That's not all good. To make sure we're on the same page with this, I'm going to tell you about Bigfoot, and you tell me if Bigfoot is real or not, okay? Bigfoot is an ape. Is it possible for Bigfoot to be real?
I don't know.
You don't think apes can be real?
I don't think. Well, at this point, everything is a perception. If you wanna get that logical, everything is a perception.
Yeah. Do apes exist?
That's my point. Everything.
Your point is, do apes exist?
According to science or according to my faith?
You're thinking too hard about this. This is the easy one.
That is precisely my point. God is beyond.
Your point is incoherent and doesn't make sense, and you're unable to answer the most basic, easiest
No,
questions that I'm able to propose to you, because you're trying to think so deeply about it to make like something make sense that you won't even like engage in the easy hypothetical about Sasquatch.
no.
That's why I can't trust anything that you say, because you can't even answer, do apes exist? I can't. So if I say, hold on. If I say, do you believe in God? And you say yes, I have to go like, okay, tell me about it. But now that you say you don't know if apes exist, I don't have to take anything else that you say seriously.
Right, but you're kind of offending me or offending my beliefs where you're comparing God, that you know something that is as valuable to me, with an ape.
Well, you're an ape theist. You don't believe in apes. You're saying your experiences are proof that God is real because you've experienced God. I've experienced not God, and I can show that to you if you need to.
I would ask you to elaborate more on you experiencing not God.
Sure,
so
yeah.
I can have a more context.
Yeah, I'll do this. Let me grab something. Okay, so right here, what I have is nothing. I've opened my hand and there isn't anything in it. I look at it, there's nothing to detect, smell, see, hear, or talk to. There's no weight. There's no tool that could find God in here. So I'm experiencing not being able to detect God right now looking at my empty hand.
Your hand is made of what? There's individual
skin, bones,
cells,
blood, muscles.
there's energy, and it's alive. You know, to me, that's God.
If you're saying that I should believe in God because he is cells and nerves and biology,
Yes.
then like I do. Then I'm convinced we did it. It's done. Like I believe in God. It's skin, blood, bones, muscles, nails, cells, like nerves. That is what it is. Then cool. That's great. I don't know why we would call it that. This is biology. You just described a hand.
Or why shouldn't God remove the desire that some people have to grape little children? They could still have the free will, but they wouldn't have the desire to. So people wouldn't do it, and people wouldn't want to do it. You don't have that desire. I don't have that desire, but we still have free will. Why would he give that desire to some sickos?
Taking away the desire still takes away your free will.
Okay, so do you have the desire to grape children?
No.
Do you have free will?
Yes. That would still be the same logic as, do you have the desire to beat someone up?
No.
Okay, well, that's still a sin. So what's the difference?
I don't have the desire to do it, so I'm not going to do it. I could. I have free will without the desire, which means you could remove the desire and still have the free will. It doesn't compromise free will. This is a flawless argument, and you will not beat it. You're going to have to think harder.
I'm telling you, if in order to
heaven, your hobbies are kind of your work, right? So that's not,
so we only do hobbies.
Yes, there's something you're doing that you love, because God is all love. He's going to give you your heart desires, right? He says, eyes have not seen. And
what about people who love drinking and fucking? Do they get to do that there?
Okay, so in heaven, there is no fucking or whatever.
Oh, it's getting worse.
We'll be like the angels, bro.
Wait a minute. Can we fuck in hell?
No, in hell?
Yeah.
I don't think so, because you're a spirit body. I don't think you have the requirements to have sensation on that.
Can we get tortured though?
Yeah, you get tortured for sure, man.
But we don't have a body. We don't have a physical body, so we don't have nerve endings.
No, you do have a spirit body. Again, I don't.
Does the spirit body feel things?
Yeah, you can feel.
So then we can fuck.
It's 100 times worse. But the thing is, you don't have sexual organs.
You don't need sexual organs to fuck.
So what do you need?
Mouths.
Yo, are you joking, bro? What? Okay, you serious? No, listen, man. You know what?
I fuck hard with my mouth. What are you talking about?
Okay, so apparently, the snake. There's a snake that has a needle, and that have sex with you. It's.
So you do have sex.
Well, it's not.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not necessarily smacks. It's just
It's better than what's going on in heaven. At least you're getting some. Am I right?
Wow.
Okay. Well, hey man, this was a weird conversation. Do you have anything else you wanted to add about like how snakes will have sex with you in hell and how boring heaven is going to be, or did you want to move on?
because it is supernatural. So logically, it's not tangible. It's intangible.
Does it have a mind?
No, you can't say it.
Oh, that's not God. Then you're talking about a force of nature. You're talking about even if it's outside of the universe, you're talking about a force of nature. The mind is what Noble. Hello.
Yeah. Sorry,
I got that from you, by the way.
I noticed it.
Can you hear me?
It's my favorite thing in the world. Hello?
Yeah.
Is it connection?
Yeah, hello?
Okay. It's so good. Sorry, Noble. Yeah. So I was just saying that to say that like there's some inexplicable supernatural force of supernature is neat. That's not a god. Gods are beings. Gods have minds. Gods have emotions. Okay. I was saying earlier, if a comic book came out and it wasn't called Gravity Man, but it was just called Gravity, it would not be a good read, right? A bunch of bad guys just trying to like pick up things and it's too heavy for them. Yay, the superhero wins the day. Boring book. The reason why it's a good book and why it's interesting because it's Gravity Man. Now it's a cool superhero power because it's a being that has emotions and thoughts and is kind of like us that is able to control gravity. I'm into that. I'm reading this comic book. I'll watch the movie. I'm not gonna. We'll see how it comes out. I don't know who plays Gravity Man. If it's Ryan Reynolds, I'll probably watch it. Okay, so look, but to say that God is some force of nature is not the mind being that like everyone means when they actually use the word God.
Now, do you believe in an infinite regress of dependent things?
Yes.
Is that still the case if the universe has a start?
No.
Okay, so what's the independent? You're telling me, wait. You're saying you do believe in infinite regress of dependent things, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a question then. If I came to drink from a cup of coffee and I had to do an infinite number of things before drinking from that cup of coffee, will I ever get to drink from that coffee?
No.
Okay, in this case, drinking from the coffee is the beginning of the universe.
I disagree. I think all the things in between are the universe. All those things in between drinking are those infinite things are the universe happening. We're one of those things. The drink of coffee is the end of the universe. That will never come. A guy was in a whale in here at some point. Like all these stories are just like really wild stories.
Have you spent time like reading, like for example, you're referencing Jonah. Have you read Jonah and do you not see the hilarious comedy that it is?
Oh, it's like a joke?
So Jonah 4, after God has compassion on Nineveh in the story, it says, but to Jonah this seemed very wrong, and he became angry. That is what I tried to forestall by fleeing to Tarshish. I knew that you are gracious and compassionate God, slow to anger and abounding in love, a God who relents from sending calamity. Now, Lord, take away my life, for this is better for me to die than live. I think it is. I actually think it is funny. I don't think we get it because it's...
I for sure don't. So he's saying, I hate you, this sucks, everything's terrible, take my life. And that's the joke?
Everyone should reject it.
Okay, so he gets thrown in the water, swallowed by a whale, and misses his family pictures tonight, and that's the joke? BBD. Hey, finally both here.
Well, there you are. Finally, let's do the outro.
Yep, take it away, buddy.
Well, that's it from us. I'm Joel.
I'm Mezzo.
And I'm Joel. And just make sure you follow Bad Bible Debates wherever good podcasts are sold.
Yeah, or wherever you normally hijack them from.
And if you can, like it or leave a comment or anything on whatever platform you're using, please do that too.
That's right, buddy. And be sure to follow me on YouTube and TikTok. That's where we record all of these lives from. So if you want to catch the whole thing live, we got a lot of stuff going on over there.
We're always going live on TikTok and on YouTube. So yeah, definitely follow Mezzo there. And also, hey, look, follow me on TikTok, Joel Reads Bible, or subscribe on YouTube at Joel Reads Bible.
Oh, right. I guess I should say my handle is Mezzo_WS. That's pretty much the same on everything.
That's it from us for now. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Bad Bible Debates.
Dude, I think that went really well.
Actually, you know what? I think that was one of our best.
Oh, I wouldn't say best. I mean, it was okay.
No, I'm not joking.
I really liked your part.
You're so hard on yourself. You know, just listen closer to mine and maybe you'll get it. You know, I think eventually you will get it.